first thing you need to do when making banana bread is preheat the oven to 350. Okay, first when you mix the ingredients, you're going to need a medium-sized bowl, and you're going to need to measure out 2.5 cups of flour, which I already did in this bowl. And you're going to need 1 tablespoon of baking soda and 1 tablespoon of salt, which I also already measured out in these 2 cups. And first you're going to pour in both of these into the bowl. Once you have them in there, you need to mix them all up, so it's mixed well. It doesn't really matter how much you mix this because later you're going to mix it in the larger bowl, so you'll be able to mix it more after that. Second, in a larger bowl like this one, you're going to measure out 2 cups of sugar, which I already did, and you're going to put in 1 cup of vegetable oil, which I also already measured out in this cup. Once that's in there, you're going to put in 4 eggs, and you gotta make sure you don't get any shells in there because no one likes shelly banana bread. And after our last egg, we're going to put in the 2 ripe bananas. And what I like to do before I open the banana peel even, I like to squish it up kind of like this while it's still in the peel, because then it makes it a lot softer and it's a lot easier to, one, get out of the peel, and also to mush up when you're mixing it together in the larger bowl. BananaBaker.com said that most monkeys peel bananas by pinching the end of the banana and pulling back because it's way easier to get the banana out. So that's what we're doing today because it's a good thing that we get the banana out more easily to get it into the bowl. It's gonna look really gross at first, but after a while it'll still look gross. But once we add our dry mixture, which is what we're gonna do after we mix all of this up, it's going to look more like a batter because that's what the flour does. In an interview with my mom, she told me that it slices the bananas up more easily if you use the back of the spoon and push it against the back of the bowl like this. And that just gets the bananas softer, and so it'll mix up more easily. So after you've mixed up all the stuff in your larger bowl, you're going to pour in the stuff that you mixed earlier with the flour and the salt and the baking soda. And you're not going to want to put it in too much at a time because it might even overflow, even though this is a really large bowl. So you'll want to mix it in a little bit at a time. Okay, so as I'm mixing this, it's going to start to look more like batter like it is, but it's not all the way, obviously, because you can still see the dough. And it's not going to look like a cookie dough batter or like a cake batter. It's going to be like cake kind of, but it's going to be a lot thicker because it's a bread and not a cake. So after you've mixed all this up, you may think you're done, but actually you're not. And I can think of so many times that I forgot to do this, but you need to add the vanilla. And the vanilla is really important because it adds a lot of flavor to the banana bread that not just the bananas can add to the bread. So once you get that in there, you're just gonna mix it in just like you would mix in vanilla and any other kind of thing. There's nothing special to it. It's just however you want to mix it. There's no special folding or whatever. One of the last steps you're going to do is you're going to need your pan that you're going to bake your banana bread in, which it can basically be any size you want, just as long as you have small enough ones that you have enough to fill all of the batter that you have, because it's going to fill almost this whole container. So I know pretty much everyone has sticks of butter. They're usually like this big, but we use this one a lot because we always use it to make banana bread. And what you have to do is you're going to butter your pan And so all you have to do is use the butter stick and rub it like this all along the sides and the edges and the corners of the pan, which this doesn't take that long. It's just something that you can do because just spraying like Crisco in it or Pam doesn't do the right job for bread. You have to actually butter it. Alright, after you've buttered your pan with the stick of butter that I use, you're gonna need some flour, just like normal flour that you made your banana bread with, and you're gonna flour your loaf pan, which just means that you're gonna put a little bit of flour in, like not even that much, like that's probably too much. And all you have to do is shake it like this to get it on all the corners and the sides of the pan. Okay. So after you get all the batter into your pan, you need to put it in the oven. Okay, so once it's in the oven, you'll want to set a timer, and the recipe that I use says to do about 60 minutes, but you don't want to do it for too long because you don't want to burn it. So I'm going to set my timer for about 45 minutes. So after you take it out, how you're going to know it's done is you're going to use a toothpick, and you're going to stick it right into the middle of it. And when you take it out, if it comes out clean just like this did, that means that it's good enough to eat. Because if it comes out and it's like all doughy, or if it still has like chunks of batter on it, it's not going to be done. And you want to make sure that you do this right in the middle, because in the middle is where it needs to be cooked the most. On the outsides, it's going to be golden brown, and on the inside, right here, it's going to be more of a lighter gold.